वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Chapter 3, verse 7. Yastvindriyani manasa Yastvindriyani manasa Niyamyarabhaterjuna Niyamyarabhaterjuna Karmendriyaihi कर्मयोगम् कर्मेन्द्रियैः कर्मयोगम् असक्तः स विशिष्यते. असक्तः स विशेष्यते. But he who controls his senses through mind, O Arjun, and engages himself in the path of action with the organs of action and sense without being attached is superior. Okay. So, in this chapter, the Karma Yoga and Karma without attachment. So in the fourth verse, Bhagavan Krishna laid emphasis on the performance of actions in both the discipline of action and discipline of knowledge. In the verse 5, Bhagavan declared, no one can remain even for a moment without performing any action. The previous verse, so the sixth verse, Bhagavan said, he who restraining the organs of actions forcibly regards himself as actionless is hypocrite. It means that renunciation of actions is not renunciation. Therefore, Bhagavan in the next, which is the seventh verse, explains the marks of real renunciation. Yastvendriyani manasa niyamyara bharte jantanu Arjuna. The term tu has been used in order to declare that such a follower of discipline of action, free from attachment, is superior, not only for a hypocrite, but also to a follower of the discipline of knowledge. The whole idea, even not only for this chapter, I mean, throughout the Bhagavad Gita, and I told you so many times that Gandhiji has mentioned, if I have to explain this in one word, and that is anasakta yoga, unattached. So, at any place, any particular verse or any junction in this whole of the journey of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan doesn't stop for action. Instead, Bhagavan emphasizes that yes, action is there, action was there, and action will be there. But perform the action without getting attached. That is more important. That is more important. So, of course, for the understanding, it is divided in three different sections, you can say. Bhakti Yoga, Gnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, the path of devotion, the path of action, the path of knowledge, Gnan. But whichever path we choose, okay, the one and only expectation or the teaching or preaching from Bhagavan is do your job, do your duty without getting attached to it. I mean, look, if we, this simple thing, if we understand, and not only understand, we all understand this, but to put in practice, then I think more than 90% of our problem or confusion problem will be solved and confusions will be answered. Simple. Because the naked fact of the world, since we are in this material world, we will not be able to live without any action for a moment. That for a moment, Bhagavan has very clearly mentioned that. So, we cannot stay away from the action if that is the fact, if that is the truth, and that is the reality we have to face. Then, very nice solution Bhagavan has given. Do your job, perform your duty, keep doing all the action, but no attachment. Of course, when we are discussing, when I am saying to you, when you are listening to me, it looks simple, but yes, it is not. That is also the reality. But that's why we have Gita class, not the lecture on Bhagavad Gita. Class means it will give us a room in our life to practice even small thing. If we practice, then it will bring a big change in our life. So, furthermore, now here particularly Bhagavan has addressed Arjuna as Arjun. Of course, Bhagavan has addressed Arjuna too many times and with different name also. But the wise man here, the scholar here, take this particular name with the meaning. So the Arjun, the term Arjun means pure in nature. Pure. Of course, I mean, the person who is pure only can be an Arjun and only can be a disciple or the friend of Bhagavan Krishna. So that's again a hint or the guideline for us if we really want to be a disciple of Bhagavan Krishna, or if we really want to keep Bhagavan Krishna in our life as friend, then we have to be Arjun. And we have to be Arjun means pure in nature. No dirt or no pollution in nature. Totally unpolluted side. So, the Bhagavan Krishna addressing him as Arjun says that being pure in nature, that is important. Be pure in nature. He should have no doubt the performance of his duty. Just perform the duty without any doubt. Yastvindriyani manasa niyamya. Here, the manasa, terms manasa stands for all the inner senses mind, intellect, faculty of reflection and ego. And the term Indriyani stands for all the 10 organs of action and sense organ. Controlling the senses by the mind means that by applying discrimination, a striver should realize that the self has no affinity for the senses and the mind. When the senses are controlled by the mind, this can be engaged in or deviated from any activity as the striver wishes. So, we have to control our mind. We have to tame the mind. We have to practice this thing. Then it will happen. Senses are controlled only when attachment to them is renounced totally. Again, the most important word is attachment. It's not just controlled. It can only possible if we practice to perform any action without attachment. In chapter 11, the 12th chapter, Bhagavan has mentioned of control over senses for a karma yogi. It means that a striver can follow the path of action only by controlling the senses. And it's very subtle thing. And as a human, it's really a challenge because you do something good for someone, And it is expected not to get attached with it, whatever you have done. As I told you earlier, I keep saying that when we say, when we talk, when we discuss, it looks easy. But how can we be unattached? How can we just forget this? The wise man answer here and gives the solution that yes, I have done something good for this person or that person, but we just need to not say it, but convince ourselves a little differently that thank God you have made me an instrument to do something good for him or for her. Or thank God you have given me an opportunity to do something good for him or her. So here, the I will still remain, I and me. But it will get diluted. Because what's going to happen? We will bring here the thankfulness or the sense of gratitude that Bhagavan, you made me an instrument. On my own, it was not possible. You provided me an opportunity. So, thank you to Bhagavan. So, as I told you, the I will still remain, but it will be diluted. And gradually, we will be able to achieve what exactly Bhagavan expects. In the previous verse, Bhagavan talked about a hypocrite who forcibly restrains his senses, while in this, Bhagavan is talking of preventing the senses from indulging in forbidden actions and engaging these in actions which are sanctioned by Scripture. Obviously, that one should perform the action which are sanctioned by Scripture. Because if we perform the action as per Scripture's guideline, then it will create or it will make a path easy for us to remain unattached. And of course, we are not here to talk about the punya or pap, but yes, it will lead us toward the merit or the punya if we perform the action as per Scripture expect us to do. Very clearly Bhagavan has told in 16th chapter towards the end, Tasmat Shastram pramanam te karya karyo vyavastitah. Very clearly Bhagavan has mentioned. Clearly, tasmat shastram pramanam. Act according to scripture. Don't come and say that I think so. Forget what I think. What scripture says. If scripture is allowing you to go in that direction, so be it. If scripture says, stop, you can't do this, so be it. So, one must design his life as per scripture's guideline. So, when actions are performed according to the scriptural instructions, senses are automatically controlled. It helps us to control the senses. Asaktaha. A person is attached to one action, and number two, their fruit. It is attachment and not the action or their fruit that is the root of all evils. Attachment. Not action itself, not even fruit, but the attachment. I have done that, but nobody acknowledged it. Attachment. Attachment. I kept my nephew for 5 years or my niece for 5 years. And what we call in Gujarati, હવે પાછું વળીને જોઈ જ બી નહીં. Attachment. To keep nephew or niece, to look after him or her, that's an action. Right? Then you do it. We do it. But the moment we get attached, and even fruit, I mean, it can bring the good fruit even, that the niece or nephew will acknowledge, will remain all the time thankful to you. That's a fruit. So that's also fine. Attachment is a problem. Attachment. So, and not actions or their fruit. That is the root of all evils. Attachment is the main stumbling block to perfection. So, a striver, instead of renouncing action, should renounce attachment. Underline this sentence. A striver, instead of renouncing action, should renounce attachment. He can be free from attachment when he, without regarding the body, senses, mind and intellect as his or for him, start performing his duty promptly for the welfare of the world. For the welfare of the world. Those who are attending the Friday and Saturday Havan, or both Havan, Friday and Saturday, in the Sankalpa we say very clearly, Bahujana Hitaya, Bahujana Sukhaya. It's here. Promptly for the welfare of the world, for everybody. We don't say it's for me only, for the benefit of all. The benefit of all. That's what's expected from the scripture. So, the welfare of the world by considering these of the world and for the world. By doing so, his attachment to the fruit of action automatically perishes. All actions, including thinking and trance, have nothing to do with the self. Though the self is naturally unattached, yet by developing attachment, it gets attached to the world. The real merit of a karma yogi consists in being free from attachment. Freedom from attachment means having no desire for the fruit of actions. In the previous chapter, Bhagavan has clearly mentioned in the 47th verse of chapter 2, Karmaniye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Your right is to perform the action, not on the fruit. Not on the fruit. Just do that. A common man performs actions in order to fulfill his desire, while a striver performs actions having the aim of renouncing the attachment. Such a striver is called nirasakta, unattached. A striver following the path of action can renounce attachment and desire for fruit more easily than the striver who follows the path of knowledge. Here, Bhagavan says about the Karma Yoga and Gnana Yoga. He said, in fact, in the 12th chapter, Bhagavan has even told in more detail. Right. But anyway, so the path of knowledge, a Karma Yogi only through disinterested actions without any other means can be free from attachment and desire for fruit, while a Gnana Yogi, in order to do away with his sense of egoism and attachment, has to follow the path of action. He has to perform actions without having any desire. The reason is that unless this passion is developed and body consciousness is removed, Sankhya Yoga means path of knowledge. Sankhya Yoga is difficult to practice without having practiced Karma Yoga beforehand. Through the practice of Karma Yoga, a Sankhya Yogi gets completely detached, and then through the practice of Gnana Yoga, he attains perfection. Because even the Gnana Yoga, to practice that, we need to do some action. And that action, again, as per Bhagwan's preaching, without any attachment. So he attains perfection. As soon as a Karma Yoga renounces attachment, he attains equanimity. Therefore, Bhagavan Krishna declares that actions need not to be renounced, but these should be performed without attachment. It is attachment which needs to be renounced in Karma Yoga, discipline of action. Action is performed for the welfare of others, while yoga, when you break the word Karma Yoga, karma, action. So action for who? Perform for the welfare of other or the welfare of world. And second word is yoga. While yoga, union, you to join. Yoga is for ourselves, for oneself. Arjun considers action in relation to himself. Therefore, he thinks that fighting is a terrible act. Because Arjun was thinking, fighting, yes, that karma which I am going to do. No. The karma, fighting, you will be doing for the better of the world. Bahujana hitaya, bahujana sukhaya. You will be doing for the welfare of the world. And the yoga is for you. So Bhagavan Krishna clarifies that it is attachment to action rather than the action by itself which is terrible. Okay, right. So we're going to stop here today in today's discussion. Whatever you like, whatever you enjoyed, credit goes to all the great men, all the scholar, all the Rishi, all the scripture. Whatever I have heard, I have studied, I have listened to it. Absolutely nothing belongs to me. We will chant 73rd verse of 18th chapter, followed by the Aarti. Nashto moha smrudirlabdha tvat prasadan maya achyuta sthitosme gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava.